Hey everybody, today on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make a coconut cream pie all the way from scratch. Let's get straight into it. So guys, the first thing we're going to do is bring across 150 grams of butter, and this is salted butter. Now make sure this is straight out of the fridge, don't use room temperature butter as it won't work. Now using a sharp knife, all we want to do with our butter is just slice it up, just so it's into little cubes like that. They don't all have to be the same size, they just need to be small cubes. So just chop them up roughly, just like that. Now just into a large bowl, add in 2 cups of plain flour, along with a pinch of salt and about a 1/4 cup of white sugar. And just give that a quick mix so you can get it combined. Now what we're going to do is add in all our butter in. Now if you are using a food processor, just put everything into it. And all we're going to do now is with our fingertips, you just want to squeeze all the butter and mix it with the flour at the same time. And we're just trying to combine it all together. So guys, when all the cubes of butter are gone, you'll be left with a beautiful, almost breadcrumb-like mixture like so. Basically, you want it all to be uniform sizes, so make sure there's no cubes of butter still there. So what we need to do now is add water to our mixture. So what I've done is just filled up a glass, as you can see, with some ice, and fill it up with cold water. Leave it there for a minute so we can get that water nice and cold. It's very important to get this right. So guys, with our water, we want to add about between 3 to 4 tablespoons. I'm just using a standard tablespoon. I personally always go for about 4. And that's 4. So what we want to do now is just very carefully mix this, and we want to create a nice big ball of dough. So there's just a few things you need to be careful of. Make sure your butter's cold, make sure your water's cold. Now as for the dough itself, you want a nice consistency so that you can work with it. As you can see, it's still cracking a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just add another tablespoon of water. And we'll mix that into it as well. Now that it's all come together, we can bring it out of our bowl, straight onto a chopping board, and we just want to knead it. So as you can see, now it rolls into a perfect shape. So you want to try and get a circular shape for this. Just flatten it down a little bit. This will make it easy for us when we're going to roll it out. And all we're going to do is just wrap it with some cling wrap. Now don't wrap it too tight either, that will need room in case it expands. Place it back into the bowl just to make it easier. Put this into the fridge, leave it for about 20 to 30 minutes so it can firm back up. So guys, in the meantime, just into a saucepan, add about 400 milliliters of coconut milk, along with about 400 milliliters of cream, and just a touch of vanilla essence. So basically we just want to heat this up, but we don't want it to boil. Just before the boil we need to turn it off. So guys, as you can see, the sides here is starting to bubble, so we don't want to go past that. So turn your heat off, give it a quick stir, and let it just sit there. Now just into a small bowl, I'm going to add in 4 egg yolks. Now just quickly mix them up as well. And to this we'll add about a 1/4 cup of caster sugar, along with a 1/4 cup of corn flour. Now just using a whisk, we just want to stir that, get it nice and combined until it's nice and pale. Now back to our milk mixture, the first thing I add is 1 cup of desiccated coconut. And you just want to mix that through. And we'll also add in our egg yolk and corn flour mixture straight in. And we want to mix that through as well and get it nice and combined. Now you want to turn your heat back on a low to medium. Basically all we want to do is cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes until it's nice and thick. Now don't over thicken it, because once you put it into the fridge it's going to get even thicker. But make sure you're constantly stirring. It's very important. So guys, as you can tell, it's starting to thicken up. It's coating the spoon. So we only need to cook this for say another 2 minutes. But like I said, ensure you're constantly stirring. It's very important. Okay guys, so it's been a total of about 6 minutes now. We don't want to go past this, but as you can see, it perfectly covers the spoon and it stays on it as well. So we don't want to go more than that. Okay guys, at this point go ahead and preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Now I'm going to be doing this in a standard pie tin like this. It's not a commercial size, it's just a normal household one. Now just flour your working surface with some flour. We definitely don't want this to stick after all that hard work. And just go ahead and bring your pie dough back out. And we'll just top some flour on that as well. So the basic idea now is we want to roll this dough out. It's got to be enough to just be an inch over our tin like that. So using a rolling pin, we just want to roll it out. Now guys, ensure that you move your dough around as well. Don't leave it in the same position, as it will stick. Now if it cracks like that on the sides, don't panic, that's fine. You can put it back together after. And you may need to add some more flour as well. Be liberal with it. You don't want to ruin your dough after all that hard work for the sake of a few cents. There we have it. Now to pick it up, place your rolling pin along the corner like that. Pick up your dough, and you just want to roll it up like that, and pick it up. Bring your pie tin across, and we just want to lightly spray it with some oil. You can use butter if you prefer. And just bring your dough back, and you want to roll it up over it like so. And look at that. Now we do have a little crack there. Just to fix it, just push it together like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Now you just want to start from one end, carefully push it into your tin. Once you've got it pushed into the edges, that's when you can rip all the excess off the sides like that. And there we have it guys, simple as that. So it does take a bit of a long time, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So make sure there's no more cracks, and just push it all together. Now all you need to do at this stage is get a piece of baking paper. You want to try and get it about the same size as the inside of your pie. Something like that. And I've got some pie weights here. These are just basically ceramic balls. Now we want to fill up our pie with that. Now it doesn't matter if some of it goes out or outside of the paper, that's fine. Now what the balls do is they stop the actual shell from puffing up. It will stay nice and level. So all we need to do now is blind bake this. Blind baking is basically putting this into the oven as is, so no fillings or anything. We'll bake it for 10 minutes, bring it out, we'll take the weights out and we'll bake it for another 5 minutes or 10 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. So 180 degrees. So guys, it's been 12 minutes now. I've just taken out the oven. So we just need to take these ceramics off. Now you can just fix the paper up like that and take it out. If you touch the balls, they won't burn you. They don't actually keep that much heat. Also, if you're wondering why I've got a tea towel underneath the tin, because I use a gas oven, I always put a moist tea towel under all my trays. That stops the bottom from burning, which is a common problem with gas ovens. So you can keep that as one of my tricks. And back into our oven we go for another 10 minutes. And there we have it, guys. After another 10 minutes, our pie shell is ready. So we just want to leave this outside to rest first before we move on. So guys, after about 10 minutes at room temperature, the pie tin should be nice and firm and it should easily come out like that. Don't take the bottom part off, you can leave that for stability. If it's still warm, you can go ahead and put it into the fridge, that'll speed it up. Now to move on, we need to obviously take the shell out. I'm just going to place it on another plate. Ensure you're using a plate a same size or bigger. If you get smaller, it's going to become unstable and it might break. So these ones are easy to take out, you just push on the bottom and the ring comes out like that. So we'll place that onto our plate. Now our coconut mixture that we made should be cool now as well. So just go ahead and pour that straight in. So that's all of my mix finished, which that works perfectly for this size tin. So guys, all we need to do now is wrap this with some Glad wrap, and we'll put this back into the fridge to set for at least 2 hours. Don't go putting the cream on yet because it won't set properly. So guys, get a small pan and you just want to put it on a high heat. And into our pan, we just want to add about 3/4 of a cup of shaved coconut. And basically we want to toast this. So the secret is you want to keep on mixing it. I'm just going to toss it in my hand like that. If you can do that, go ahead and do that, it's much easier. Once you see that your coconut's starting to turn a little bit brown, turn your heat to a low to medium because we don't want to burn it. And it's very important that we keep on moving it around. So guys, once most of your coconut has gone brown like that, turn your heat off. There will still be enough heat in the pan for it to cook it. If we leave it running, it's going to get too hot. So as for our whipped cream, guys, you've seen me make whipped cream before, but I'm just going to put in the video as well. What we're going to do is put 1.5 cups of thickened cream into a steel bowl with about a tablespoon of vanilla essence and 1/4 cup of caster sugar. Now using a hand mixer or a cake mixer if you prefer, we're going to blend this on a high speed. Use a whisk attachment as it will make it much easier. And we're going to keep on blending until we get soft peaks. So guys, you want something like that. Now don't over mix it. What you want it to do is just have a stiff appearance like that. If you over mix it, it's going to split and you have to start over again. So guys, once your cream's done, all we're going to do is simply top it on top of our pie. Now you don't want to create a very thick layer either, it's got to be just a really thin layer. And there we have it. And finally we'll top off our toasted coconut straight on top. So all we're going to do now is put this back into the fridge and about an hour later it's ready to serve. And I'll show you what it looks like. So you just want to simply cut right through it. And then just using a knife, you just want to carefully lift it up. Just like that. Now guys, the first slice is always the hardest to take out. Just because it's so tight together. But once you get that one out, the rest are easy. And guys, just look at that. Look at those beautiful layers. So that just needs some ice cream and that's ready to serve. As for the actual pie itself, guys, make sure you leave it wrapped so it doesn't go dry quickly. And you can easily get maximum a week out of this, as long as it's constantly refrigerated. I hope you like that, guys. Please like and subscribe. If you've got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom, and I'll see you all next time.